you laughing? Supposed to be surprised. Big Boo!
What's up, baby?
We got a surprise for you. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Why, Snow White, my dear. Who the hell is White? Who the hell is Snow White? What's up, Savage Room? We got something for you. In the wake of entering the Savage Room tour, we now present to you Mirror, Mirror 2, The Reflection Rebellion.
Reflection Rebellion.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? I see me, I stand tall. Hell yeah, the queen will never fall.
Talking dreams, now schemes grow strong, plant seeds. Hustle hard, no facade, we cream of the crop, take heed. Fight the odds, build squad, shine bright, break free. In the ring, hear the ding, it's our time, savage spree. The savage room flames, we slave in hard teams. Our hustle supreme, it's more than just dreams. Rise up, break seas, got the fire at all means. In the savage room, we reign, no in-betweens. No fear, we steer, navigate rough seas. Mind sharp, play it smart, rule the streets with ease. Crowned in gold, feel the bold, we ignore the tease. Every step, feeling blessed, strength never cease. The savage room fears, we slay in our teams. Our hustle supreme, it's more than just dreams. Rise up, break seas, got the fire, means. In the savage room, we reign, no in-betweens. Dance to the rhythm beat of our own drum. Success in our prism, courage out strum. World made doubt, but we welcome the scum. Savage room queens, we rise from the slum. Legends in our veins, goals never derange. Savage in our grace, fierceness unchained. Crowns on heads, stories remain. In the savage room, our power reclaimed. The savage room flames, we slay in our teams. Our hustle supreme, it's more than just dreams. Rise up, break seas, got the fire, means. In the savage room, we reign, no in-betweens.
Movies that Disney showed us with a mirror. The first one, we all know the first one. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? We know that is from Snow White. Is that from Snow White or Sleeping Beauty? I think it's from Sleeping Beauty. Anyway, we know that the evil stepmama wanted to say she was the most beautiful person in the world. What happened was, this year, they have changed the narrative. Because now, Snow White is going to save the prince, and she going to save herself at the same time. They ain't like that. They push that back. It's against the position that a woman's supposed to play. Interesting. And then there's another movie that everybody forget about, because you're looking at the love story of Beauty and the Beast. But there's a key component that's in Beauty and the Beast. It's the magic mirror. The one that the rose is inside of. That magic mirror serves as a portal to allow Bella to see her father, Maurice, and the outside world. It wasn't a reflection of her. It was a portal of everyone else. Baby Whisper, what you about to talk about? I don't know. You're going to have to catch up. See, a lot of y'all want to talk about mirror, how it's supposed to see your reflection of yourself. But in Beauty and the Beast, it shows you everyone else's problems, everyone else's illusions, everyone else's movements, but it never showed her her own reflection. What is your reflection? What is the mirror? When the mirror speaks, what does it tell you? I don't know. You just have to keep paying attention.
Voice more from the very gutter.
through the cracks, rain gone sputter. Streets gritty, heart still flutter. Gold in the grime, found another. Scuff kicks, worn jeans, terrain rocky. Broken dreams like pieces of Atari. Pixelated visions, but we ain't sorry. Patch your life up, call it our story. Broken, now rise, sky the limit. Mended wings, we got no cynics. Broken, now rise, stage your gimmicks. Life, vibrant, never timid. Time's hard, days feel endless. Climb the walls, this ain't no senseless. Ashes underfoot, but never senseless. Broken barons, yet relentless. Fell down, bruised and we thrive. Stitched the past, now we contrive. Plan our future bright and alive. In this chase we always strive. Broken, now rise, sky the limit. Mended wings, we got no cynics. Broken, now rise, stage your gimmicks. Life, vibrant.
The mirror speaks. The mirror has no voice, yet it echoes the loudest lies we've ever believed. It doesn't judge, yet we project every ounce of self-doubt onto its surface, expecting it to validate the insecurities we were never meant to carry. The moment we stand before it, we do not see ourselves. We see the remnants of the world's expectations, the handprints of criticism left by family, society, past wounds. The mirror doesn't lie, but it does reflect the lies we've been taught. It's not the mirror that whispers, "You're not enough." It's the voice of the childhood bully, that unkind parent, that unreachable beauty standard, that toxic ex who chipped away at your self-confidence. And so, without realizing it, we let the mirror hold power over us. We flinch at our own reflection. We shrink. We critique. We catalog our imperfections that were never truly ours to bear. But today, that stops. Today, the mirror speaks, not with deception, but with truth. It reveals not what we've been told to see, but what's always been there beneath the distortion. A warrior, a survivor, a woman who has lived, endured, and conquered. The mirror does not it doesn't define you. It simply reflects what you allow yourself to believe. And today, for the first time in a long time, you choose to see you, unapologetic, unfiltered, and undeniably powerful. You're gonna have to take this out because I paused.
Hard, heavy moments weighed me down, can't deny. Walking through shadows, found no reason to try. Lost my way in a maze of doubts, dreams took flight. But fire comes from the ashes, baby, I'm taking back the night. Woke up feeling different, a regal new day. Tired bones, but my spirit knew how to play.
won't back down. Struggles in the mirror turned into my pride. Dreams resurrected, standing by my side. No fear in the rear view, strength in my stride. Journey from the brink, but now I'm taking flight. Rise above the whispers, rise above the doubt. Courage in my veins, no shadows pulling out. Battle scars, just trophies, strength here and now. Stepping into my destiny, shining loud and proud. Whoa. I was burned out, now I am stepping out in my power. Queen never falls, standing tall every hour. Flames couldn't break me, they
Get it.
The four reflections and the savage truth. We've all looked in the mirror and seen something we didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I told you that what you're seeing isn't the full truth?
Mm.
That what's staring back at you is an illusion, an image distorted by lies,
Well.
expectations, and the voices of others.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a world that tries to define us by standards we never set, forces us to fit into models we don't belong in. It tells us that who we are isn't enough. The truth is, the reflection you see isn't always the reflection of your true self. It's time to confront the lies, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Break the chains of self-doubt and stand unapologetically in your power.
Mm-hmm.
The four reflections we face are the past, comparison, the inner critic, and society's standard. All of these are traps designed to keep us small. But the savage truth? What's the savage truth, y'all? You're more than the distorted images you've been sold.
Mm-hmm.
Let's break these reflections down and confront the truth. And these truths that are powerful enough and worthy of every ounce of love and respect. That's what these truths are, showing you that you are powerful enough and that you are worthy of every ounce of truth and respect.
So we're about to do this a little different. Every time that we say something to you, I want you to reflect, and then I want you to listen to the examples that we give you. Now, see, this is one of the little niches that we give into you. This is a special savage room. So we gonna hit you right where it hurts. And then we gonna make you feel better then, I promise. So, let me start off. So, the reflection of the past. The weight of old wounds. Hear me out. The savage truth. Your past doesn't define your worth. But it will try to claim you to it if you let it. The wounds you carry are not your identity. They are scars of battles you have survived. They are a part of your journey, not the whole story. The past will hold power if you keep allowing it to rewrite your future. Now, I got an example. Hear me.
Give us an example.
Think about that moment when someone, maybe it was your parent, a friend, or a random stranger, made you feel less than. They planted a seed of doubt, telling you that you weren't enough, that you didn't fit the mold. You carried those words with you, folding them into the core of your being. But what if those words were lies? What if they were a projection of their own insecurities, not your truth? The savage truth is the person you see in the mirror now is now the person they tried to diminish. Your strength, resilience, and power. You've outgrown that version of you, and it's time to let go of the chains the past has wrapped around your ankles. What's
Makes
that?
sense. I think it makes sense.
Makes sense, huh?
Yeah. Can I tell?
Go.
Like, okay, so like, I remember when I was young, I had this one evil aunt. She hated me. And
Wait, which one?
I ain't gonna say her name.
Oh.
So, the problem is, I remember her telling me that every time people look up and see me coming, they gonna hate it, and that nobody was gonna want to be around me, and all this kind of stuff. And so, I used to really stay to myself. I used to stay to myself and not really show up for people. And I'd be gone, like I make friends and stuff, but then they might not see me for months. And then when they see me, like, where you been? Why you ain't been coming around? You know what I'm saying? And all that, because I used to carry it just like what she said. They wasn't gonna want to see me anyway.
But you do that all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I started having it. My family made me alone.
Not with me, because I search them down. We ain't got time for this, but
I stick to myself.
Someone told me that my words weren't violent. That was someone in my family. Actually, she still tells me my words aren't violent. Yet they're echoed all over the world. And I hear random people walking up to me and asking me a question. By the way, if we don't know who you are, you might want to start with your name.
Coming up to you and you don't know who they are, nothing, and just saying your words back to you. That's probably crazy. That's probably crazy. I'm like, oh, man, wait. I get it.
So sometimes I think in life, our past wounds us to a place where people want us not to grow from because they want that part of you. And then it reflects to ourselves. Because the longest time, I wouldn't talk in front of people. I'll cuss you out, but I wouldn't talk in front of people for the longest time. So it did affect, until I went to Europe. And then, those white people pay for anything. Sorry. Anyway, that's not the point. So,
say some real ones. Number two. The reflection of comparison, measuring up to the lies. So, the savage truth. Comparison is the thief of joy and confidence.
What?
Sounds about right. You cannot measure your worth based on someone else's highlight reel. Your journey, your growth, your beauty are uniquely yours, and they don't need to be validated by anyone else. And not another single soul, nada, nada.
Not nobody.
What's meant for you will never look like someone else's. Their success does not diminish yours.
Give me an example.
Okay. Example. Here's y'all's example. You scroll through social media, and there it is. The perfect life, the perfect body, the flawless smile. Someone else's seemingly perfect life makes you question your own, filling you with envy, self-doubt, and a crushing belief that you're not enough. But what you don't see behind those pictures is the truth. You never see the truth behind
What's
those
the
pictures.
truth behind it? Come on, tell me.
The truth behind those pictures is there's some struggles, some messy moments, a bunch of insecurities behind them perfect looks. The reality is behind them pictures. The savage truth is you'll never be them. You will never, ever be them because you can't stop being you. You don't need to be. You don't need to be them. You are a masterpiece in your own right, not a photocopy of someone else's journey.
Okay, so I'm going to do it.
Wait a minute. Let me just tell y'all this. Listen. I ain't going to sit here and say I can remember the address, but there's a scripture that when you break it down and you take it back to the Hebrew and all that stuff like that, actually I think it's the Greek. When you take it back in context, right, the original language tells you that you are God's poeme.
What?
And that word poeme means poetry in motion.
I know what it means, but why is it in the Bible?
See, because a lot of people don't understand that we are, listen, that beautifully and wonderfully made by God means something. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just what it looks like. If you take a peek underneath, we're God's poetry in motion. Imagine that. Imagine that you are God's poetry in motion. There's no way you can have all the exact same lines in that poem as someone else.
It ain't gonna happen. So I'm gonna tell him myself, because I thought he was about telling me, honestly. There are some times that I look, and we all know that our social media is off the chain. We know that. And there's sometimes I can look at girls that I work my butt off, and they got 20 and 50 and 40,000 people, and people buying their stuff left and right, and they coming back to me and want my stuff for free. And I be fussing at him, and it's not his fault, but I just be fussing at him because he's just standing there. Not knowing behind half of this is the fact that most of these people want to find something that's not truth. And a lot of these people are giving them falsity.
And it's crazy how people will pay for lies.
Falsity.
And listen, I ain't throwing no stones or whatever.
I'm throwing some stones.
What you call it? What they call it though? This ain't no hit or this ain't no dig. I ain't taking no digs at people or nothing like that, right? But I'm just saying, you got them people that be like, the Lord said, I see a miracle coming. I see what, listen, and they got all this stuff they see, but first you got to get them a seed, though.
Exactly.
Like I saw $1,000 and it's going.
That $1,000 gonna see a whole bunch of seeds.
You know what I'm saying? It's $1,000, and people be standing up. I mean, these are the same people who walk past the poor man sitting on a stoop in the gutter asking for $1 that he said he ain't have.
Or ask you for a sandwich, and you got $20 in your pocket.
And can't buy a $5 sandwich.
And you can't buy a $5
Like,
sandwich.
listen, these are the same people that get up and put their rent money if they have to
Inside that pocket.
on in these false prophets' pockets, and you be like, why? Because people are so quick. Listen, they got itchy ears. You're so quick to go with whatever sounds like it might be good. If it sounds like there's no work involved and it's a whole bunch of freebies, they want it, but it's not real.
So let's talk about something. Let's go to number 3, because he about to. I'm trying to pull him back.
Okay, let me get off my soapbox, y'all.
There's a little bit of sprinkle for y'all. Now let's talk about the reflection of the critical voice, the inner critic. Oh. This is funny that I got this one. Shut up, you. So, the savage truth. The loudest voice you hear is often the one in your head telling you that you're not good enough. It's not the truth. It's your insecurities, doubt, fears echoing what others have said about you. Don't let your inner critic dictate your self-worth. Silence it with your power. You are your own harshest critic, but you also hold the power to rewrite the script. Can we rewrite the narrative?
Rewrite the script, baby.
So let's give you an example. Before we go there, let's give you an example. The little voice inside your head, the one that calls you too much or not enough, is not you. It's the product of years of societal conditioning, family criticism, and unhealed wounds. It's the voice that tells you to shrink, to apologize for taking up space, for being confident, for being bold. That voice isn't the truth. The savage truth is you are not too much. You are precisely the amount of greatness the world needs. That critical voice, shut it down. You are powerful. You are worthy. You are more than enough. Now, you better not tell me this one. But now, there is a reason why we say, shh. It's not for y'all just to shut the hell up and listen. It's for you to tell your own self to shut the hell up and listen. You see, sometimes when we get into the point where we need to heal, our own self blocks us from healing.
Right, because people use things, images and sounds and all that to program your mind. And sometimes you got to tell your mind to shut up so that your spirit can speak.
Also, a soul tie pulls on your inner critic.
Yes. Heavily.
Just saying. All right, come on. Number 4. We go to 4th. We down to the 4.
The reflection of society's standard. The unrealistic image.
Oh, Lord. You're getting blind,
Okay.
y'all.
This is where y'all get my Shaolin Kung Fu. All right. The savage truth, y'all. Shabing. Society's standard of beauty is an illusion. Carefully constructed and marketed for profit. It's the lie that you have to look a certain way to be valued. It's the only standard of beauty that matters, and the one set that you pretty much set for yourself. If you believe your worth is tied to a number on a scale or a certain body type, you're living in a false reality. And you're actually an offense to yourself. Wake up and hear your spirit.
Give them an example.
So an example, you look around and see everyone striving for the perfect body, the flawless skin, the Instagram-worthy life. And somewhere along the way, you start believing that this is the only way to be beautiful, to be worthy, to be seen.
Ain't some of them prostitutes?
Yeah, crazy, ain't it? Listen, but what society has told you isn't real. It's a mask. It's camouflage, y'all. It's a filter. It's a false narrative. The savage truth is, your beauty is not defined by a magazine cover or a number on a tag. Your beauty is in your spirit. Your authenticity is in your unapologetic individuality. You know that I'ma be me unapologetically. You understand? You are a work of art. What did I tell y'all? Poeme. God's poetry in motion. And no one can tell you how to be beautiful but you.
You.
That's it. Just you.
Just you. Just you. The 4 reflections. The reflection of the past. The reflection of comparison. The reflection of critical voice. Maybe if we could talk, it'd be great.
And the reflection of society's standard. Let me help you.
Are the lies that have been kept you from seeing your truth. The savage truth is, you are powerful.
You are beautiful.
Worthy.
And enough.
Exactly the way you are.
Huh.
These reflections do not define you.
They attempt to control you.
To make you shrink.
To make you doubt your power.
But here's the truth.
You are a force to be reckoned with.
Break your ass free from them lies and step into your own light.
The savage truth is, you will never, ever fall.
You will rise
unapologetically into the powerful, beautiful being you were always meant to be.
Welcome to Mirror Mirror 2.
Hard, heavy moments wait.
My turn again. Y'all already know what time it is. This teaching is going to be about false reflections. It's going to be about understanding the false reflection. So, first of all, let me just say, there's going to be a lot of defining going on here. Because we need to know what we don't know. And we need to understand, because the Bible says wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And with all you're getting, get understanding. So today I'm hoping for us to bring forth some understanding about this false reflection. So, a false reflection is a distorted perception shaped by external forces and influences like society, media, past experiences, blah, blah, blah. You understand? The false reflection represents what we see when others define our worth, our beauty, and our values. Let me take a pause here. One thing for certain, two things for sure. If somebody else is defining all these things about you, what are you doing? You have no self-awareness at all. Your self-awareness is on zero. If somebody else tell you what beauty is to you, somebody else tell you what worthiness is to you, somebody else tell you what you're supposed to value, what you respect, then what you telling yourself? I know you ain't just repeating what other people say to you about yourself. You gotta have some original thoughts. You gotta have some, authentic feelings about who and what you are yourself. I mean, take a stab at it. Take a stab at it. Shut out everything everybody else says about you, and then take a stab at looking at yourself from your own perspective and point of view. I don't know. It's just a suggestion. So the impact of false reflections is, 1, it affects your self-esteem, right? 2, your body image. 3, your mental health. And one other thing is that the cycle of comparison and unattainable standards that comes from that is ridiculous. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous. See, self-esteem, y'all, in the words of Cat Williams, it's esteem of yourself. How you gonna have somebody else gonna form your self-esteem? It's an esteem of oneself. Take some pride in yourself. Put some worth on yourself. Put some value on yourself. We're not talking about dollar amounts. We're talking about things that money can't buy. I know they told y'all money could buy everything and anything. Everything has a price. This is true. But every price doesn't come in dollars and cents. I'm trying to help somebody. So the cycle of comparison and unattainable standards is going to break you down. Because first of all, when you can never attain a standard set for you, first of all, if somebody else set the standard, aside from your creator, if somebody else set the standard, if another man or woman set the standard, how are you ever supposed to attain it? They always going to set the standard just a bit above what you think you can reach. Just a bit. Just a bit above what you think you can reach. That's all it takes to make you feel small. And somebody else set the standard. If you jump from the free throw line over the backboard, they're going to set that standard and say, you were supposed to just touch the ceiling. If you run a mile in 60 seconds, they're going to set a standard and say, you were supposed to do it in 55. 55 seconds is the standard we're looking for. Because when somebody else set the standard, they putting you in a place. And when somebody else puts you in a place, they putting you out of your position. Y'all ain't hearing me, y'all. Listen, the source. Let's talk about the sources of the false reflection. Let's just move along. I'm going to see if I can't help y'all with something else. Let's just move along. Listen, the sources of a false reflection. Society standards, first of all. Again, here we go with the standards. Society standards. And you know how they go. They say, right? They say. I've been asking most of my life, who in the ham sandwich is they? Because they say a lot of stuff. But I ain't never seen they. I heard what they say. I ain't heard it from they, but I heard what they say. It's crazy. It's just crazy to me. Listen, unrealistic beauty standards in media and culture, magazines, TV, advertising. Okay, let's start with this point right here. First of all, the chick you see on the TV got to starve herself. She was already born puny. Then she got to starve herself. Or take their crazy drugs that make slimy, greasy stuff come out her butt every time she eat. I've seen it. Because it's taking and breaking down her food as soon as she get it and putting it out of her. So she's still not even getting the nutrition or none of the fats or anything else that go with the food she just ate. She's miserable beyond belief with $100,000 in her bank. Why? Because that's all they pay her, to be miserable for 4-5 years to get to the point where she could be on their TV and make you feel. The dude with the 12-pack abs, and they show you in the beer commercials and the car commercials and whatever other commercial they want to make you feel like you got to go buy this or that in order to try to feel like they look. And that man spend 10 hours a day in the gym. Ain't nobody paying you to be in the gym for 10 hours a day. They paying you to slave in other ways so they can take that money because you looked at the dude who be in the gym for 10 hours a day and said, I need to buy their product. Anyway, back to my queens. Listen. Unrealistic beauty standards in not just media but in culture is ridiculous, okay? The magazines, stop reading them. The TV, man, pay it no mind. The advertising, Lord of mercy. The advertising. Like I said, shorty miserable. All the time. She miserable all the time. And then a lot of these people y'all see on TV be straight up fiends. That's why they can't gain no weight. That's why you see them years later after you see them 6 months after being off of TV and all of a sudden they fat. Why is that? Well, oh, because they went to rehab. They've been in rehab for the last 6 months. That's why now their body can take up and gain some weight because they off all them whole 150 drugs they be on when they trying to look like somebody want to be on TV. When they trying to live with all the stress it take to be in them commercials and on them TV shows. I'm just saying, listen. I've been out there. I did the thing. I had the industry coming at me, and I know what type of stuff they ask you for. I know what type of stuff they want you to do. I know how they want you to be someone other than yourself. They want you to completely lose yourself and be a robot. Not just any robot. They want you to be one of a million of the same robots. Retarded. Anyway, comparison culture, again, is another thing that is a standard of a society standard, right? Comparison culture, measuring ourselves against other people. So, in my family, right, under my mom and my dad, right, I'm the shortest. I'm the youngest and the shortest. My mama was 6'2", my dad was 5'11". I'm 5'10" and 3/4. I'm the shortest one. Everybody else tall in my family. You go to my cousins, all the girls in our family is 6 feet and better. You go to my cousins, all my cousins are 6 feet and better. There's only about 3 of us There's only about 3 of us that's like 5'10", 5'10", and 5'11". So, growing up, being much younger than everybody else and my other siblings, I had to look, and I'm looking around like, why I ain't big like them? Why I ain't tall like them? I'm already, see, I never even got to the heights that they are. So I had to learn how to accept my own self for who I am, my reality. When I started dealing with what's real, when I started dealing with reality, my reality says that, dude, you 5'10" and 3/4. That's all you are. That's all you're gonna be. My other brothers are 6'1", 6'2", and my sisters, everybody taller than me. I look up at the girls. Still, gotta look up at the girls. Oh well. Oh well. I'm still me though. None of them can be me. None of them were born with the gifts I was born with. None of them move in the way I move. None of them teach like I teach. None of them speak like I speak. None of them can make it plain the way I make it plain. None of them can do any of the things that I was gifted to do. I got that gab, believe it. I got that gab. So, I had to become me. And a lot of you out there, y'all gonna have to become you too. You're gonna have to get away from the unrealistic beauty standards. You're gonna have to get away from the society's so-called norms. You're gonna have to get society's norms. You're gonna have to get away from the comparison culture. You're gonna have to let all that go. You're gonna have to get away from all that. And sweep it all up and right out your mind. I would tell you straight up, sweep it all up and then put it in the trash. Because you are who you are. And until you accept you, why would you expect society to accept you? So see, you got family and peer influence, right? When it comes to these sources of false reflections. And someone else got family that's going to say, again, how our family dynamics and childhood experiences shape self-perception. Parental comments, peer teasings and stuff like that. You know, when everybody say, you the ramp, you the shrimp in the group. You the runt of the family. You know what I'm saying? Because you're the smallest or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your case may be. Mine was I was the runt. And I looked at myself like I was small, and I had no idea how the other kids around me that were my age was like, you big too. And I'm like, I ain't big, my brother's big. I ain't big. I felt small. I felt like a runt. Because everyone always said I was the runt. But I was bigger than most kids my age. I had muscles. When I was 12, I looked like a little man. Grown women was trying to holler at me, seriously. When I was 12. But I felt like a runt. I had no idea I looked grown. I had no idea how big I actually was. I really didn't. I felt like I was weak. I was small. All these other things that even now I look in the mirror and I didn't see nothing that the people next to me saw when they looked at me. Some of us, that might not have been the case for us. We might have just been told we're not good enough, right? You might have had family telling you you're not good enough. For whatever reason, you're not good enough. Or you're being compared to this member of the family or that member of the family. And you look at so-and-so, Cousin Brutus doing this. Cousin Popeye eats spinach and he be stronger than Brutus. What's your problem when you eat spinach? No problem, Ma. No problem, Ma. No problem at all. The spinach ain't for me. Listen, there's lasting impressions from people have impressed upon your mind and upon your psyche that you are not enough in some way, form, shape, or fashion. We're not even gonna blame them. That's just probably what they were taught. They were taught that they wasn't enough and that nobody. And when you look at society, you will find that what they say is that none of us are enough. And all of us need to do as much as we can to buy whatever they're selling us so that we can be enough. Okay, let me say it slowly. I don't buy it. I don't buy what they say. Neither should you. So, another one of the sources of a false reflection is internalized criticism. So, how we internalize negative messages from others, like I just said. Somebody told you wasn't enough in whatever way, form, shape, or fashion, and you accepted that. You bought that lie, right? You swallowed it, hook, line, and sinker, and you made it your own. You ate it all up, and it became a part of you. See, the power of the inner critic, that negative self-talk, and its impact on your self-reflection is a strong thing. You've been doing it for so long. You've been doing it for so long that voice that you hear, that's that inner negative critic, you think is your voice. You've been swallowing this hook, line, and sinker so long, you think the hook, line, and sinker supposed to be in your belly. You think that all the garbage that you think and criticize yourself with is really you thinking and criticizing yourself. When really it's the echo of the voices of others. You think, I'm not smart enough to do thus and so, because you've always been told that you're average in intelligence or that you're not smart at all. You think you're smart. Let me tell y'all something. Okay. When I was 4 years old and I learned to write in cursive, I wrote my first poem to my mom. Right? Once I climbed a mountain, once I sailed the sea, once I flew across the sky swifter than a bee. Once I said I flew across the sky swifter than a bee. Once I met a mermaid sitting all forlorn, and once in a deep forest I met a unicorn. How do you remember that if you was 4? My mama kept it, and when I turned 18, she framed it and gave it back to me on my birthday. Anyway, do you think it took intelligence for a 4-year-old to be able to write that in cursive? To be able to come up with a poem like that in the first place? But all through my whole school career, I had people telling me that I think I'm smart, but I'm really not smart enough. I didn't learn anything in school. I learned it all at home. When I went to school, I just showed what I know, and I always showed less than I know because they was never teaching as much as I knew. But somehow they were going to tell me I wasn't intelligent enough. I wasn't doing work in school. They told my mama something was wrong with me. My mama said, yeah, the boy is bored. It's my fault. Whenever he want to know something, I teach him what he want to know when he want to know it. And he learns it all. My oldest sister is 7 years older than me. So, I was 8, 9. She was studying for classes for college and stuff. I was 9. I was reading on the same level she was. All the stuff they said she had to be able to read, I was able to read. All the words they said she had to be able to define, I was able to define. But yet I've had teachers my entire life tell me I'm not smart enough. I think I'm smart, but I'm not as smart as I think I am, and I need to learn from them. And when I say, well, teach me something I don't know, they fall dead and blank. Because my mama taught me how to learn, so I'm able to learn. I don't need them. But yet, and and for a while I used to be like these white people. But let me tell you something. It was people who looked just like me too, who hated the fact that I was intelligent, that I used words that they didn't know the meaning to, and who wanted me to slow down and get in my place. People want you to slow down and get in your place too. They've been wanting you to slow down and get in your place your whole life. That's why you got this negative inner critic that you think is your voice. You've been hearing it so long, you think it's you and not these idiots who've been talking to you your whole life. I'm trying to help you. Just know that. Every time I say something that sounds crazy, I'm really trying to help you. And it only sounds crazy because you've been hearing nonsense your whole life that you think makes sense. Pay attention. The dangers of living in a false reflection, right? One of the biggest ones is an unhealthy self-image. A cycle of self-loathing and insecurity. Because again, that inner voice you think is yours, that inner critic, is not your voice at all. It's the echo of a voice that somebody's been saying to you your whole life. And I'm trying to help you erase the idiocy, so that your actual inner voice can speak to you and be heard. Pressure to conform to false standards of beauty and behavior. Okay, listen, folks. There is always an outside pressure, right, for you to conform. But you were not made to be what someone else is. You are made and created with one specific and special purpose that doesn't belong to anyone but you. How can I say this again in a different way? You are God's poeme, His poetry in motion. And someone has come along and scribbled all over God's poetry. I'm just trying to erase the scribble. I just wanted to be poetic again. Listen, one of the other dangers of living in a false reflection is mental and emotional health struggles, right? Let me explain something to y'all. Listen, you're going to struggle mentally and emotionally, right? Because okay. You know how, unless you're pregnant, if you mix pickle and ice cream, it's probably gonna make you throw up. Right? Am I right about that? Okay, unless you're pregnant, if you mix pickle and ice cream and you eat that together, it's more than likely you are going to throw up, or you're going to be on the toilet just splattering everywhere. Why? Because it's going to make you sick. It's two things that do not combine well together, and your body is going to reject. See, when you listen, you have a self-image. You have an image built into you already. And then when the garbage is put in, the falseness is put in, when the fake narrative basically is put in, now you got the ice cream and the pickle mixing. And then it's going to regurgitate, and what that regurgitation look like is a bunch of sickness. They call it mental instability. They call it emotionally unaware and emotionally unfit. They call it, they got so many names for it, it's crazy. And it'll have you on medicine. Sometimes. Maybe medicine you don't even need. All you need to do is do the mental and emotional work. All you need to do is, first of all, do the spiritual work, which will allow you to do the mental and emotional work. That's what you really need. Because that's what's going to help you to detangle and all the garbage that they got in you and only have one image. And that's the image that was made in you by the Creator. Agree with that image and it becomes your self-image. It becomes your inner reflection. You understand? When I realized myself, accepted myself all the way for who I am, and knew who I really was and what my worth is, I had a picture right here, put on my arm, of myself. And I had it made in a certain way as to it was who I knew I was, and as to it representing me. My face with eyes of fire and dreadlocks shaped like microphones. And it really looked like somebody kind of took a picture of me, the face. And when people asked me who was that, I said that's my inner reflection. It wasn't something slick to say, it was my truth. It was my inner reflection that I put on myself so that I could remember myself. And not forget again who I was. I.e., who I am. That's the one and only tattoo that I have on my body. A reminder. A reminder of exactly who God made me. And to always be myself, irregardless of the outer influences that were projected in toward me. We all need to find our outer influence to remind us. We need to all find our outer. Listen, because, excuse me, y'all, but because the mental and emotional health struggles will have you in stuff like anxiety, depression. I gotta read these because I don't really know because they don't belong to me. Anxiety, depression, low self-worth, and all that kind of stuff due to false perceptions, right? None of that anxiety and none of that stuff don't come to me. It don't belong to me. When they try to come on me, I shoo it off because I know who I am. I know that God made me. And I know when I look in the mirror, I know what I see. And just like I said, to remind me, I can look on myself and remember who I am. Some of us need to paint a picture make a drawing, put together a digital image, whatever it is you need to do to show you who you are, to remind you of your true inner reflection. Otherwise, you come out with anxiety, low self-esteem, eating disorders, unhealthy coping mechanisms like drinking and smoking. Excuse me, y'all. Drinking and smoking and body dysmorphia and stuff like that. You know, where you're just doing stuff to yourself. You'll start thinking things like, I'm supposed to be this and I'm supposed to be that. You're trying to find outside forces and ways that you can do to make yourself what you think you're supposed to be. When in fact you were beautifully and wonderfully made. When in fact the real you is God's poetry in motion. I'm just trying to help somebody. I know it sounds crazy. Another danger, right, of this false living in this false reflection, right? Another danger living in this false reflection is your loss of authenticity. Nothing about you is real. You're always struggling and scrambling to become somebody that you are not. This is an emotional toll that it just takes on you. It makes you emotionally tired, you know, trying to meet all these external expectations. It makes you just worn and it gets you, have you looking like an old person when you're young. And have you feeling like you're 90 when you're still just 25. Somebody help me now. I ain't gonna get no amens out of that, but a lot of y'all just realized something. Something just broke in you. You just realized, it just hit you. You just had a flash and seen yourself. I know you did. See, breaking free. Let me see what we talking about here now. Here we go. Y'all know, for me to stay on point now, I gotta have my outline, because if I don't have an outline of notes, I'll be up here talking and listen. I get lost in one thing, especially if I mess around and catch one of my soapboxes I can step on. Man, I'll be on that soapbox. Well, listen, singing. You hear me? So let me stick to my notes here. We breaking free from the false reflection. Breaking free from the false reflection requires us to first and foremost, number one thing we got to do is what, y'all? Recognize the distortion. Remember what I said before I got the tap, right? I realized who I was. I recognized that the me that I was that they had me seeing was a distortion. And I needed an undistorted and realistic view of myself. I took in me as I am and who I am and loved that. Recognize the distortion. The importance of becoming aware of false beliefs and perceptions is that until you do become aware, you cannot change them. When you think, listen, remember, you know how you heard that so-and-so was this and that, and they was that and this type of person and all this kind of stuff, and then you met the person without knowing that's who they were, and then when you found out that's who they were, you was like, wait, you ain't nothing like they said you were. There you go, that they again. Whoever they is. Can y'all stand forward and show a hand? Whatever they is. So they said that you was this and that, and it turns out that you ain't nothing like that. I bet you a bunch of y'all have already heard that before about yourself. Somebody experienced that with you, just like you experienced it with somebody else. So it's very important to become aware of false beliefs and perceptions that you have on yourself, so that you can let go of those false beliefs and perceptions. You can challenge the voices. You know, those internal and external voices that become inner critics. You can challenge those. because they shape a false reflection. And so you can begin to challenge it, but you can't challenge what you don't see or know. You can't possibly challenge it. You can only fix what you know is broken. Think about it. Just think about it. Kids who was born in a time where there was already Wi-Fi have no idea what it's like to be without internet and stuff. So they don't know that their play life is broken. They don't know they need to go outside and ride their bike. Jump up and down, do some cartwheels and flips. They don't know that's going to help them later on in life with their bones and their joints. They don't know that's going to help their brain with oxygen and development. See, so when you don't know that it's broken, how can you fix it? So you got to see the distortion, recognize it for what it is, see the lies, recognize the lies for what they are, and then you can challenge them. Because you need to be reclaiming your true reflection. You may not get attacked like I did. You might just get a little drawing done. You might just describe it all up and then have a drawing done or a digital picture made or, a painting. You understand? You might do it yourself. But you might figure it out first is what you got to do. Right? You got to reclaim your true reflection. You got to understand that your worth is defined by you, not others. And then your definition has to be based on what God said about you. Because only your creator, listen, I can tell you a whole bunch of things about a Rolex watch, but ain't none of it going to be as accurate as what its creator can tell you. There he goes saying crazy stuff again. I'm trying to help you. Listen, the power of self-love, self-acceptance, and authenticity is a wonderful thing. These are the things that you need to use in order to challenge the false narrative and reclaim your true reflection. The truth is that you deserve to be loved, first and foremost by you. Listen, you deserve self-acceptance. You deserve authenticity. That's the truth. So rewiring your narrative, and seeing yourself as you truly are is what's going to help you reclaim your true reflection. Yeah, you might see yourself different when you look in the mirror, but you're also going to think things differently when you look in the mirror. It's like, so one time, I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was the beginning of this movie was coming on, and I didn't know what the name of it was. Then it's called Shallow Hal. I don't know if a lot of y'all might have seen it. You might not have seen it. It's an older show with that crazy funny guy and Drew Barrymore. He met Tony Robbins. He met Tony Robbins in an elevator. Tony Robbins put a whammy on his mind in order for him to start seeing people as what they really were inside. And so he met a lot of hot girls that looked incredibly ugly and just unattractive altogether to him. And on the inside, that's what they were. And then he met some people that society says not so pretty and all that, but he met this woman. She was really a big, heavy woman. And he seen this supermodel looking, Wonder Woman looking chick. That's what he saw, because inside she was beautiful. She was courageous, she was gorgeous, she was all that. She was Wonder Woman. And everybody was looking at him like he was crazy. But what Tony Robbins did for him was he set him free from false reflections. in his mouth. And so then the jade came off his eyes and he could see better. Go watch the movie, you'll understand. So listen, healing the inner critic. Because the inner critic needs to be healed. You need to be healed from that. You need to replace your negative self-talk with empowering affirmations. You can find them all over the place. The best ones come out of the Word of God. I'm going to tell you that right now. They work faster, they're more powerful, and they are absolutely the truth. And then you can use that to build a positive inner dialogue where you stop listening to the inner critic and you start speaking, and you'll start hearing your spirit man speak more, because your spirit will agree with what that word said, and you will have those affirmations go with you always and everywhere you go. I'm just saying. Again, I'm just trying to help somebody. I know it sounds crazy. I always sound crazy when I be saying stuff that's real. You know why? Because you're so used to hearing garbage. Pay attention. I'm trying to help you. So, affirming your true worth. Listen, practice these daily affirmations, y'all. Listen, you need to practice daily affirmations, right, of your intrinsic worth. You need to practice. What does God say you are? What good things does God say His creation is? You are as His creation. Go find those ones that resonate with you and learn how to use them and speak them as a confession, and not just reading a scripture. It'll help you. It'll help you. Listen, there's devils out here that use the word to be rich, powerful, and all kind of successful in their life, and they straight devils, but they know that word is that work. Y'all better pay attention, man. I'm trying to help y'all. I'm trying to help you. Don't get mad because I'm telling you about scripture. I'm trying to help you. Because the people that's over you and that you work for, but that don't care nothing about you, them same people, yeah, them same people use that word. So that's how you're going to learn to see yourself with compassionate eyes also. Say some of the things God say about how He loves you and what you are, the apple of His eye. Beautifully and wonderfully made, and all that kind of thing. You God's poet, man. His poetry and emotion. Try to tell yourself these things. Try to assert these things into yourself. Do it repeatedly until it becomes a habit, right? 13, 14 days, anything becomes a habit. Try it out. That's science for you. That's not my opinion. That's scientific fact. People who study people have said this is what they have discovered. I've discovered that they were right. You discover it. You discover it. Break the false narrative. Break the false reflection.
Hard, heavy moments weighed me down, can't deny. Walking through shadows, found no reason to try. Lost my way in a maze of doubts, dreams took flight. But fire comes from the ashes, baby, I'm taking back the night. Woke up feeling different, a regal new day. Tired bones, but my spirit knew how to play. Refused to stay silent, found my voice in the roar. World will hear my echo, stepping through that door. I was burned out, now I am stepping out in my power. Queen never falls, standing tall every hour. Flames couldn't break me, they forged my crown. Watch me grow, baby, I won't back down. Struggles in the mirror turned into my pride. Dreams resurrected, standing. Hard, heavy moments wait. On the wall, who's the baddest of them all? I see me and I stand tall. The queen will never fall. Diamonds dripping just in time.
Let me thank the grandbaby for making me have a cold before I have to do this. They so cute, you just want to squish them. That's not the point. It's my turn. So I'm going to apologize right now for telling you about yourself, because I had to do this again. We all know that in the first Mirror, I did not want to do Mirror. I don't like looking in the mirror. I know what I look like, I know who I am, and I know what I can do. The biggest problem is, looking in the mirror, you got to reflect back. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, which most of y'all don't know what I'm talking about because you just joined us. So I need you to go onto the Patreon page, and yes, you're going to have to go into your little wallet and pay the same amount that you pay for your baggie of weed or your drink on a Saturday or your clubbing money. You're going to have to take $20, put it on this Patreon page to give to other people and be able to see Mirror 1. Now, Mirror 1, I was not looking like this. I ain't have my hair done. I was actually sick then, too, which was crazy. Anyway, I was actually sick then, too. I ain't have my hair done. I did not want to get up there and do nothing. And Chuck had said, you got to get this done for this. And then it turned out that the lovely people, and I'm just going to put their little... I'm just going to just show their little symbol. It didn't turn out that they had flaked on us after we had pushed ourselves to do something. Baby was, well, why are you going through this whole spiel before you get into this? Because I want you to understand what I'm about to say to you. Most of y'all don't understand mirror distortion. You don't have a clue what it is. The mirror have often been seen as a tool to check our appearance, but they have become so much more than that in our lives. For many of us, the mirror has turned into a battleground where we measure our worth, compare ourselves to others, and judge our self-esteem. Yet far too long, these mirrors have been distorted by the external world. They have reflected not who we truly are, but who society, our family, and even ourselves have wanted or expected us to be. The first step in this journey is recognize distortion. We must acknowledge that we see in the mirror, what we see in the mirror is not completely truth about who we really are. Yes, it's one of them days where my mind is gone before my mouth. Now, you see the reflection in the mirror has been shaped by external influences, social standards, beauty ideas, family expectation, and media portrayal. These external voices have often overshadowed the most important voice, your own. Too often, we allow the mirror to reflect not our true selves, but a version of ourselves that has been constructed by others. I have a question. How many of you can look in the mirror without you wearing your makeup? How many of you can look in the mirror after you just wake up and you got all that stuff on your face, you had a good old sleep, you done woke up, or you look in the mirror and you angry as hell because somebody done woke you up. Your kids, your significant other, the phone, you need to get up because you got to go to work. How many of us can look in the mirror and truly see ourselves? When you look in the mirror, I have a question. When you look in the mirror, do you see you, or do you see all the reflection of the words that come at you? The first part of reclaiming the mirror is recognizing distortion. Distortion is the false belief, message, and perceptions we have internalized over the years. You've heard it before. The whispers of, you are not enough. You need to change. You too much. These words have haunted you, coming from all directions. Media, peers, family, even your inner critic. These distortions have shaped how you perceive your beauty, your worth, and the place in the world. If you can acknowledge that the reflection in the mirror is not the full story, then you can recognize distortion. Distorted images come from a variety of sources. It's the same exact thing, but I got a question. What is beauty? Tell me. Yelling at the TV. What is beauty? See, in the distortion that we have for ourselves, we like to blame other people. But the truth of the matter is, when words come at us first, words mean everything. I done told you, you gonna spell stuff out. And see, the truth in the matter is the words that we hear coming out of somebody else's mouth, we validate before the words that come out of our own mouth. Somebody has told you that if you lose a couple of more pounds, you're gonna be beautiful. Somebody told you that if you wear some makeup, you're going to be pretty. The importance is to pause and ask yourself, is that true? Is that true? Because you're going to say, well, if they think it's true, it's got to be true. Did you want to wear that before somebody said something? How many distorted beliefs do you carry? What labels have been placed on you that you have started to believe? Perhaps it's the idea that you're not good enough or that your body is not accepted. Maybe you've been told you need to act a certain way to be valued, or that your worth is determined by others. I'm going to try not to get too angry because it don't feel good. And I've been telling you this the whole time. See, when a queen looks into the mirror, she always hears her subjects. Now, you're going to think the inner critic is the hardest one on you. The inner critic is the hardest one because the inner critic is going to always argue with you. That's going to be that one voice going to say, no. We may as well go on and do this. Well, shoot, we done got this far. Let's go on and be this. Oh, we already here? Come on, let's keep going. Your inner critic is the last voice. The first voice that you have in your head is going to be that friend, that boyfriend, that whatever friend. That's going to be the first voice. Second voice in your head is going to always be your children. Why is your children after the significant other? Because the significant other makes us feel wanted. Our children wants us to feel needed. Now y'all gonna say, well, what do you mean? Because our children wants us, your children need you. Your significant other is supposed to want you. So when you looking at yourself in the mirror and you hear whatever they said, whether it was a joke, whether it was funny, when they talk about other females, when you talk about the men, you make that other person feel something. And the control starts to roll. Your position is never to make the person standing next to you feel less than themselves. What does this have to do with the distortion? Because the reflection, if you break it down, you're going to understand how to rebuild the boundaries. When you look at yourself and you ask yourself, am I too much? Too much for who? For who? For who? Y'all ever seen that person that's so hyped up on something and they just hyped up and they hyped up, but you can see them one day and they crying and you trying to figure out what the hell going on. Next day you see them, they angry and you still trying to figure out what the hell going on. The distortion is playing tricks on it. See, the reflection, soul ties, and the mirror go together. The mirror, when it's distorted, will show you all the soul ties and manipulation. You are manipulating yourself to see something that is not there. When Chuck brought up Shallow Hal, that was a perfect example. He didn't see the distortions that society and every else then told him because he actually saw through somebody who was better for him. And y'all keep saying, they not my type. Are they not your type? Or are you in an illusion for someone you should not have? Because sometimes while you out there looking for your husband don't look like what you see in that mirror that you claim is your type. But then you want to know, well, how come I still got depression? How come I can't look at myself in the mirror? Baby Whisper, you're not helping them if you don't break the distortion. You ain't never going to be able to look in the mirror. I tell plenty of people, take the makeup off. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Who are you? Where are you? Are you where you need to be? You gonna say, I ain't supposed to answer. I didn't say answer yourself. If something answer yourself, you need an exorcism in your house. I said talk to yourself in the mirror. Now, for those of y'all who are like me, and in moments when you can be vulnerable to people, but you still got that boundary wall, that is when you start growing as a queen. For those of y'all who don't like looking in the mirror, there are times when you're going to have to stop, fix yourself a little bit, take a picture if you got to, but you need to see yourself. You know how you tell people, see their way out? See your way out of this depression. See your way out of all of this falsehood. See your way out away from the people that claim they're your friends. And my God, see your way out of a soul tie. Beauty and the Beast was the perfect thing for me to tell you about. The mirror never showed them what they looked like. It showed them everybody else who was important in their life. Do you hear the words of everybody else when you look in the mirror? And you can't unveil the truth until you gonna understand how to recognize self-doubt. And my God, false narratives. See, we can doubt ourselves all we want. We can tell ourselves until we do this better, until we get here, until we have this, until we understand where we are, where we going. You can't understand where you are, where you going until you know who the hell you are and how to put your 2 feet in front of each other by yourself. Because your friends and your parents and your kids are going to be those weights on your feet. Some of y'all like walking in heels because you think it's going to get you out of hot water. My dear, you still gonna slip. You don't understand how to take away self-doubt because you pressure yourself with everyone else's words. Because some people gonna tell you words that's gonna bring you down for a reason. I keep telling you, we spell words. And while they spelling them words on you, they are cursing you to be in a position that they think they're gonna be better than you. Not understanding that manipulation goes inward when you try to push it outwards. Self-doubt. Self-doubt has controlled the world. It makes a lot of leaders fall to something that is so small and they figure it out way after. False narratives. False narratives make me go bananas because everybody keep telling me, this is what you are, this is who you are. Everyone has an opinion. While you have an opinion, there is also a reflection. Because inside of your opinion, is on some people, it's going to be the reflection of yourself. You mad because they didn't got there. You trying to figure out how they be there. You trying to figure out why are they sitting here. You want to know how they strong enough. You want to know how they got through this. And at the same time, that same person is sitting there sipping. Lord, what's wrong with that person? Girl, get yourself up. You want to know why false narratives can't hit so many people. We know about the illusionists and the magicians. But let me tell you about your friends. Your so-called frenemies that some of y'all think keeping close to you is going to help you when you are absorbing all of the negative indentations coming into you. And by the time you stand in front of the falsity of a mirror, you realize your reflection is not true. What is true reflection? I need you to look at the mirror and tell yourself first, I am worth it. I need you to look in the mirror and tell yourself first, I am no one's victim. Most of you who are stuck in trauma cannot look yourself in the eye because you can't forgive yourself. If you do not forgive yourself, you are never going to see your true reflection. It has nothing to do with the tricks of the mirror. A mirror is made up of sand. Sand is at the beach. You can't look through that. You trying to figure out, why is these two things related? See, society likes to trick us into thinking what we should be thinking, what we should look like. And if that's the case, I should not be the color I am, with all the education that I have. My reflection of what I got don't match who the hell I am. But I don't listen to false narratives. If I did, I wouldn't have got this far in life. I don't hear when people don't understand what I do, what I got. Many of y'all can't even tell us what our company does. And by the way, we got 5 of them. The Savage Room is a part of one of them. Why did we bring the Savage Room here? Because some of y'all and your self-worth is tied into false narratives. You can't even face the mirror when you were a kid. That's fine and that's good. You grew up with somebody telling you what you should do, what you should be, how you should wear. Now that you're an adult, you still looking for that same validation. Validate yourself. See, true reflection and validation go together. False narrative and society and self-doubt go together. Keep looking into their society portal. A mirror is a portal. Not to reflect back to who you are, to show you what everybody else around you think you are. Everybody has an opinion, but not many got self-worth. Unveiling is about stripping away the expectations that others have placed on you, looking into the mirror with clarity and self-acceptance. Do you accept yourself? Do you understand who you are? Do you accept yourself with all your so-called flaws and everything that everybody done told you? Many people look at me and say, baby, there's no way you're a teacher. I got proof. Baby Whisper, there is no way you can be up here and be. First of all, I'm not a motivational speaker because I cuss y'all out first. I'm not. No, I'm not. What I do is I come in and uplift you. There's a difference between a motivational speaker and an uplifting speaker. First of all, I ain't telling you nothing that's a false narrative that I ain't did myself. This ain't about the monetary value. This is about your self-worth. I'm not going to train you. I'm going to teach you so you can teach yourself and teach your kids. I'm not going to train you to know something that you never going to get. I'm going to make sure you always understand. You do it over and over and over again until when you look in that mirror, you can reflect out what you want your daughter to see. For those of y'all who got little girls around you, I got a question right now. How y'all feel about these little 5 and 3-year-olds twerking in the mirror? I got another question for some of y'all on social media. How y'all feel about the 3-year-old that a man, a grown-ass man, was throwing dollar bills at her as she twerking, and her mama say, get that money? Now, some of y'all gonna be like, I'm gonna be going after her. Question: do you think it's cute when your kids are on the floor dancing in provocative ways they have no business? Do you think that's cute because your friends tell you that's cute? Do you want your daughter to grow up to be a stripper? I ain't taking nothing against y'all strippers. Y'all make y'all money. But I have a question. What is your self-worth? What are you worth to yourself? A man can give you any monetary value. That means he don't know your worth. Who are you to you? Where is your true narrative to yourself? Because until you understand your individuality, you damn sure ain't got no strength. And until you understand your beauty has nothing to do with physical attributions of how you look. They are the most ugliest people in the world that look like animals, that are the most beautiful people because they soul come out. You gonna say, my mama told me all the time that beauty is within. Beauty is within. Y'all see no supermodels that get up there and they be walking, and you be like, that girl ugly? She pretty, but she ugly. Because she got an attitude. Because her validation is because y'all say she beautiful. And the monetary value that she get paid tells her how beautiful she is. And I don't know who I'm talking to, but I am very sick of the external pressures telling y'all what y'all worth is. I'm going to stop for dramatic effect. Because every time I go to tell y'all about your worth, somebody tells me, do you know your worth? For you to ask me, do I know my worth? I know you don't know yours. That's not a question. My worth is more than what you think. That's a statement. If you got to ask yourself a question about your worth, you are doubting yourself. But I just want you to think about something. The last time you look in the mirror. The last time you look in the mirror, did you feel disconnected? What is the first thing that came to your mind? I bet you were nitpicking yourself. My nose is too big. My hair's not straight. My eyes is too wide. My lips are ashy. It happens to the best of us. But while you doing all of that, is your kids listening to you? Can your children hear you? Can you hear yourself? It's simple. While you looking into the portal of everybody else's false narratives, when are you going to actually close the portal and see your reflection? You see, you can't close that portal without you understanding that you are worth something. You have a purpose. You have an ability to get yourself to where you need, and you are not weak. I don't know one weak person that somebody got to tell you every day you weak. Why you got to keep reminding me I'm weak? Because you're not weak. When are you going to tear away those false narratives flying at you? Them words you tell them, you can spell whatever you want to spell, but your words do not affect me. We made affirmations so y'all can keep repeating it to yourself. Repeat it to yourself over and over and over again. And some of y'all gonna say, oh wow, she was nicer on the first video. I didn't think I was nicer on the first one. But this one, I'm like, all right, all gloves off. You want to go deeper into the reflection? Who the hell are you? Don't tell me. Frankly, you a queen. That's all I need to know. Next, tell yourself. Why you gotta ask somebody who you are, what you can do, what they like, who you need to be? Are you beautiful? Are you done yet? No? See, I don't look into the mirror because I don't like looking in the portals. I don't give a damn what everybody got to say. At this point in time, we are too big and too high to where we going, and I ain't got time for it. I'm just ready to start slapping people in the head. You can't do that either now. Because then you're going to go, well, wait a minute, the president is a felon. So, that don't work for those of us who are black. Again, if I go by everybody else's narrative, I should not have as much credibility that I have because I'm a black woman in America. For all of y'all who gonna look at me and say, what does that mean, baby Whisper? It means when I pull out my credentials, when we go through what I can do, and my God, when I pull out my educational degrees, everybody look at me like, how did you get this opportunity? Who the hell are you to tell me I can't have an opportunity to where I want to go? You don't have the same mindset I got because I had to take away all the false narratives. And before you say, you have never had somebody try to break you, use a damn lie. I was married to one. Happily divorced. Failed miserably at the fact that I thought I could marry someone I should have never married. The reflection that I saw myself is I will never be another wife. The truth of the matter is, I was not a wife anyway because I was married to somebody who had me married to myself. You have to be married to another person to be married. That's the problem with marriage. It has to be two people joined. You didn't fail something. You had no business in something. If you don't start changing your narrative, you are never going to see your reflection rebellion. I need you to rebel right now. All y'all so mad that the president is up there. So why you mad? Can you go rebel right now? I need you to tell everybody who the hell you are. Now don't walk up to somebody and say, this is who the hell I am because this girl told me to do this. I ain't tell you to say that. I told you to walk up in your truth. Nobody can tell you too much when you in your truth. They gonna try to knock you down because the false narratives cannot penetrate the wall, the boundaries when you know your worth and truth. If you don't take a moment every day to reflect, what is the story that has happened in your life? You want to know how to get rid of trauma? Let me help you out here. I'm going to start mixing things together. And since it's one of the specials, I can do whatever the hell I want to. Here we go. You want to know how to get rid of that trauma that has broke your reflection of yourself? You got to write your story down. Put it in black and white. See this paper? Put it in black and white. You got to write it down. And when you write it down, I do not want you to read it to no Melinda, Mablana, whoever around you, Champagne, whatever. I want you to read it to yourself in the mirror. Take out your audience. Your problem is we always think we need an audience. Sometimes you talking to yourself. Baby Whisper, we need somebody to give us feedback. Give yourself feedback. If you can't be there for you, then how are you there for anybody else? You want to know why half of y'all can't find the man that you really need? Because you don't know how to be there for yourself. You can't lift another person up if you are weighed down by somebody else's chaos. And some of y'all keep returning to that chaos because it makes you feel wanted. You are not wanted. You are that moment, and you are being used. Just because you lay next to somebody every night don't mean that is a person that is pushing positivity in you. Would you change the narrative? You are the author of your own story. Your trauma that you have just went through has nothing to do with the person that you have became through that trauma. If you make yourself a victim, you will be a victim. If you don't uplift yourself at the moment you need to, you will never ever understand what it means to stand up. Rise up, queens. When is anybody gonna start living their truth in themselves? Your story can be ugly. You could have went through hell. But while you labeling yourself, accept it. You want to know how some of us who've been through the most hellish things can accept it and be stronger than you ever know? You want to know how some of them people have went through hell and looked themselves in the mirror with all them scars they got, they have accepted it. Everybody can accept you. But if you don't accept you, you never gonna heal. Do you accept you? You wondering, what is she talking about? You want to know how to unveil the mirror. If you don't look in the mirror with acceptance, that portal gonna start opening. They're gonna tell you, you need to be doing some empowering affirmations. Before you get to them affirmations, do you know how to declare yourself? How do you declare yourself? Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? I see me, I stand tall. This queen will never fall. Why do I keep saying that through this whole entire program? Baby, what's in the Savage Room? You've been repeating that the whole time. The declaration of yourself. I don't need to affirm your false narratives. I need to first declare who the hell I am. Then I will tell you I am beautiful. I don't call myself beautiful. Some of y'all call me out on that too. I don't find myself beautiful. You will not put me in a box. I'm a beast at my own will. I know what I can do. I know who I am. I will not stand here while you put me in a place, because that ain't my position. While you calling on that mirror, you better understand something. You stand in front of that mirror and you got all that self-doubt. You got all of that self-discountability. You have all of that self-worthlessness. Guess what's going to happen? That portal going to open. Who are you? Where are you? You standing in the middle of the vipers. That's why I put the lions in the savage room. Let the tigers and the lions eat the snakes. And while they eating the snakes, you're going to learn that some of them people around you, they going to devour. You can't stand tall and be a queen with all the snakes around you. They are going to forever bite at your feet. They are never ever going to teach you what you need to be. But you always going to have somebody tell you what you are not supposed to do. Everybody don't come to you for a reason of keeping you where you need to be. Most of the time, people will look at you, see your reflection, see a version of you, and run with it. Run, Forrest, run. Let them run. That is not your true self. That is not your true you. That is not who you really are. Now I'm going to tell you very quickly how you going to embrace your power. How you going to reclaim your truth. I'm going to tell you extremely quickly how you reclaim your truth. You have to take pride and acceptance in yourself. You have to be clear to yourself who you are. You have to understand that everybody have an opinion that is not exactly who you are and where you should be. If you do not understand the clarity of you, if you cannot define your own self and truth, then you will never be unstoppable. There's a way to fix that. Stop trying to take a run when you ain't ready to walk. And some of y'all can't even crawl. It is okay to take step by step to where you need to be. It is okay for you to understand where you need to be. Because with you understanding where you need to be, you become stronger and reclaiming yourself. Some of y'all not ready to look in the mirror. And that's clear. But you are worthy enough to understand that the foundation that you build for yourself comes from your truth, your identity, and your acceptance of you. Now, baby whistle, you went really quickly. You didn't even slow down and tell me what you really mean. So let me stand up for this one. Some of y'all gonna make that joke too and say, when you stand up, it look like you sitting down. I'm 5 foot, mind your business, and I still gonna tell you the same thing. You gotta stop looking at yourself to define what everybody else think. You're going to say, no, I think that. No, you don't. Because if that's the case, you wouldn't change your hair this way, go this way, feel that way, be there, be that, do that, and go there. You need to start understanding that just because you were broken, that reflection is not going to show you broken. It's going to show you the manipulation and everything that you feel that you're not worth what you should be. If you're not where you want to be at this moment, I'm going to tell you something. That's not tomorrow. Sometimes you got to walk, then you're ready to run. And when you're ready to run, take yourself to where you need to be. Every strand of strength that you have in your body that puts you where you are is uniquely making yourself in that mindset to never fail. Your narrative is yourself. Understand to accept yourself. Every time you look in the mirror, if you have no acceptance of yourself, it will always be a false reflection. Who am I? Where am I? Why am I here? What did I learn? Where did I grow? Grow, queen, grow. You were simply misled, and now you are reclaiming your truth. Every time you stand in front of that mirror, I want you to tell yourself, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? I see me, I stand tall. This queen will never fall. What does it mean? It means that you might have failed once or twice, maybe 3 times, 4 times. It means that you may have lost a battle, but you're still alive, so the war's still going on. And you do have a crown. It don't belong to nobody but you. And I need you to understand that the next time you look in the mirror, I want you to hear these words that I say to you. You are enough. You are worthy. You are beautiful. You are strong. You are a queen. Now rise up. We're doing half the time.
Look, it's just like that. We just gonna have to keep pushing till we get there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
It is what it is.
Hello.
What's up, y'all?
Y'all see us in blue. Y'all wondering like, what the hell blue? Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Who's the fairest of them all?
I see me, I stand tall. The queen will never fall. Yeah, we did it. Well, we halfway did it. we get there. We got a part 2. There was a request. I ain't gonna say there was a request, because y'all people worse than shit. I mean, ooh. There was a request for Mirror Mirror to add in the chocolate man here. By the way, calling my best friend the chocolate man and half of y'all succubus, I do not like. Anyway, that's not the point. That's not the point. You don't know what I'm talking about. That's not the point. We entered in Chuck, so the king has came to speak. There is a surprise that we have for you guys. And since it's St. Patrick's Day, let me give y'all the rev up to y'all Irish. We have made Mirror Mirror 2. It will appear in an undisclosed location at an undisclosed time. But there's one question that we want to answer. What does it mean to have a false reflection? I would say take it away, but I kind of overworked him today. But you had cookies, so that's fair.
That little sleeve. Listen, to have a false reflection, I feel like a false reflection is when you look in the mirror and you see what everyone else says over what is actually there. When you see what all your insecurities over, what your actual gifts. That's a false reflection.
But I think that they take it too personal. Because when y'all look in the mirror, y'all not looking at what you supposed to be looking at. You looking at your outer beauty. And some of y'all can alter your outer I cannot talk today. Some of y'all can alter your outer beauty all you would like. However, what you cannot do is pull out that ugliness that's inside of you. That corruptness you get, that manipulation that you put on other people, them soul ties you put into people to keep control over people. Ooh, I gotta stop doing it. Anyway,
Lord have mercy.
Anyway, so is a false reflection true? Yes. We have it all day, every day. But I wanna know something. Seriously, I wanna know something. Cause you know, the grandbaby, I seen her doing this in the mirror. And I wasn't happy at all. I seen her doing all this and looking and then telling, I'm Gabby Dollhouse. I look better than Gabby. I don't like I couldn't say anything. I was laughing to my core. And then I was like, who cares about what Gabby got? But Gabby got her dollhouse. So what does you have? What do you have? How many of y'all correct the society norm of your child has to be this perfect beauty? And what is beautiful? No, seriously. Break the boy code.
I mean, there
What's
ain't no
beautiful?
bro code to break.
What's beautiful?
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So there ain't no bro code to break for real. Honestly, the fact of the matter is, all of us a lot of times look at ourselves through jaded glasses. Because I've seen some of the prettiest people that think they ugly. You know what I'm saying?
But is that because of things they've been told?
Yeah, absolutely. Because of things they've been told. You see women that's on a diet and doing all this stuff, trying to get their weight down because they be thick, but they still have an exact curves, right? And it'd be crazy. I'm like, you know, she surely got the Coke bottle shape, but it's just not thin, right? But she gotta be thin, and I'm like, you gonna make yourself sick. You know what I'm saying? Listen, your bones too thick for you to be skinny.
Well,
Surely
why
stop
don't you
it.
just go to Yamister?
Listen.
Sorry.
Yammy Tammy from Miami. That what she looked like. But
anyway,
you know, it's just about what people see when they look, and they need to see the beauty of themselves, because beauty has always been and always will be in the eye of the beholder. That's why they try to change your eye. They try to jade over your vision.
Because the narrative is always going to be theirs. And the reason why I always say rewrite the narrative is because a lot of y'all don't know how to validate yourself. Reflection is the self-validation of what you see. It is, do you see your worth? Do you see yourself? Are you valid in your own truth? Do you know what your truth is? And my God, does anybody know their position around here?
Right.
Do anybody know their position around here? I know my position, but does anybody know their position?
Before you listen, you need to first break down the jive. You know what I'm saying? Because like the jaded, inverted, visual interpretations.
You're not supposed
you know
to
what I'm
get
saying?
at them on the discussion. They got to go watch the video. Wait, sorry.
Listen, I'm just saying, you gotta pay attention, man, because they be jiving out here.
But
you
wait a
know what I'm saying?
wait a minute. We talking about girls. I've seen
I'm talking
my
about
boys.
dudes too,
I've seen my boys do it now too. So is it a certain thing as a guy want to be a thug and a pretty boy at the same time?
Listen.
Was it a pretty thug?
Listen. I was just telling my nephew when I seen him yesterday, right? I was just saying, because he was like, "Oh, you got big. Like, what happened, man?" I was like, "Listen, I feel like 2010 all over again." You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to tell everybody it's a lot of muscle under this fat. I wanted to exercise, but I don't want to eat right. You know what I'm saying? So now I just had to drop the cookies and the cakes and all that stuff, so I could get my. But it's not about that. For me, it's about me getting more healthy, right? So I ain't have to rush that. You know what I'm saying?
So I can't put cookies in front of you until you do push-ups.
I'm saying,
no.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry, I just.
No, but look, for real though, I don't have to worry with that. I don't worry myself with that, because I know, you know, first of all, I put too many muscle-bound men's face in the sand. But anyway,
no, we're not being
I
violent.
don't gotta look. I just gotta feel.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so I want to feel more healthy. So y'all gonna see my weight come back down again. this summer y'all gonna see me.
Well, I definitely had it because I was shocked.
Because
When
I don't
seen
care.
that.
You know, it's not as much about. It's about how I want to look when I see myself in the mirror, and I don't look healthy. I look really unhealthy, and I don't like because then I feel unhealthy.
I have a question
So-
though, because a lot of people look at you and they see, what the hell is this thug doing with this short girl who got a mouth on her that'll beat you up too?
Oh, what you doing with that bad news, dude?
Oh my God! The other day I had some of our old friends
They always
say,
ask her that.
"What
What
the
you doing
hell
with
are
that
you
bad
doing with
news,
a
dude?"
bad news nigga?" I'm like, first of all, don't use the N word. Let's start there.
And for
then
y'all who don't know, that's what they call my city, bad news, especially the part I'm from, like downtown, East End.
the thing is though, because he looks vicious, the more vicious one out of the both of us is truly it's not me. It is
Tell me,
him.
y'all, do I really look vicious? Do
Yes.
I look vicious?
Don't he like a
Me?
killer?
Me, little old me, I know I don't look
We
vicious.
all
I
know
can't possibly look vicious.
that the one-
I look as harmless as they come. Don't I look as harmless as they come?
No, your voice is
I look as
harmless
harmless.
as come. That
Harmless
just
as they
makes
come.
catfish.
I'm harmless.
That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is, looks can be deceiving, and your reflection can reflect off something that you are not. So if you start feeling what you are not, you are going to project what you are not. That was the point of this whole debacle that didn't get to
Right, because what I was trying to say, what I was
God.
trying to get you for real was that though. I feel when I look, like people treat me like
expert.
you know what I'm saying? But when I feel a certain way, but when I come out and, you know what I'm saying, when I feel, happy, when I feel energetic and like I just want to be played or whatever like that, people really do receive me well. And, so it just depends on what my projection of myself is. And it depends on what anybody's projection of their self is.
Right.
Because certain times, some people might treat me like an axe murderer. And then other times, people treat me like they've been knowing me and don't know me from Adam. You know what I'm saying? So it's about it's about projecting the right energy and that type of thing. How I really be seeing myself for the day.
So what y'all gonna get from this mirror? I don't know what the hell y'all get from this mirror. I'm not even gonna lie. This mirror was a shocker to me. It was asked for by a bunch of investors. Then it was asked for by a church group. Then it was asked for by a women's group. And I'm just like, oh, y'all asking
But
me.
look though, we giving people what they asking for. This is the thing, right? You don't always have to define everything to its minutest, to its very last compound. You don't. You know what I'm saying? What it is this is the things that are in this mirror things that most of we've been asked for. So that means most people want to see it. So beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So this is going to be a beautiful, gorgeously beautiful event. This is going to be a beautiful event. Everybody's going to love it.
Are you declaring that?
I'm just telling you the science behind it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody always asks for it. They asking for what they want to see.
Okay. I'm glad
So
he
when we
has
show them
confidence.
what they want to see, it's going to be beautiful because they wanted to see it.
I'm so glad he has confidence. Because the baby was
It ain't got nothing to do with confidence.
I'm too tired right now. I'm just
It ain't got
like,
nothing to do with confidence. Listen, y'all. If you say today when I go to the grocery store, right, ladies, for example, let me just do the ladies. You say today when I go to the grocery store, I want to meet, a tall,
oh Lord.
muscle bound, but slim with the muscularity, light skinned guy with a cleft in his chin, Travolta cleft, okay. And you go out to Dixie's, Food Line, Walmart,
Who the
whatever.
hell is Dixie?
It's one of them stores out down south.
Well,
So when you go out in the store and you actually see this guy and he goes, "Hey, what's up? How you doing, this lady?" Whatever like that, right? It's gonna be a beautiful thing to you, right? You're gonna be happy that you saw him, right? Because you wanted to, you was looking for that. So how does that take? It don't even take confidence for me to know that y'all gonna love what y'all see because everybody's been asking for what we're giving. So we only giving what people have been asking for. So everybody's gonna love it.
I'm just waiting to see when half of y'all get off y'all hinds and y'all actually participate in things that we do, because pretty soon I'm not going to be up here giving it all for free like we've been doing.
Y'all only gonna see little small portions.
Y'all
and
gonna
clips
see
and
clips and portions.
all
And
the most powerful and
for
real
those
stuff
of y'all
will be
who
in
are
a place where you
waiting
gotta
for entrance to the
actually
Savage Room,
help.
for those of y'all who are waiting, this is one of them. There are two. What's the first one?
The first one is
Enter to the Savage Room tour.
Oh, the tour?
Yes. Before you
Man.
say something wrong.
Listen, I don't know.
The first teaching is this one, Mirror Mirror 2.
I thought this was the second teaching. This Mirror Mirror 2.
The second teaching is Soul Ties 2. It goes in alphabetical order, dude. However, Soul Ties 2, you guys are eating up.
So, in other words, y'all, I don't know nothing. I'm just up this jank, doing my duty. You know what I'm saying? And I leave all that extra thinking and all that.
To me.
I leave all that to her. You listen. Somebody got to put it in order. Cause me, y'all be all over the place messing with me, man. I'm gonna tell you right now.
When we come to your city, there is going to be a choice. Depending on how many people have actually bought the tickets, if we sell out the 60 seats in each of the rooms, in one of the rooms,
Which is small.
we will make the other room for the next night.
Right.
So, in order for us to do 2 shows in one city, you're going to have to sell out the 60 seat room first.
Which again is light.
It's light.
It's light work.
It's light work for y'all. It's hard work for us because
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying 60 though. It's not a lot. Is what I'm saying. The number's not big, right? So if everybody participate, we might be there for 3 nights. Shoot, I ain't got no problem with it. I love it. Know why? Because it'd be participation. You know what I'm saying? People be participating. We'll get after the joint, we get to talk to people and meet all these different new people and you know what I'm saying, interact. That's the part I like.
So the first stop is Chesapeake, Virginia. The second stop, I tell you on the 30th where the second stop is. But we're going down, and we live in Virginia. Mm-hmm. So if you're downward, you might want to start thinking about it. Now we gonna skedaddle up in this place right here because I would like to finish eating my chicken, and we gotta go get the grandbaby.
Yeah, not that.
Yep. Oh, and I get to go to the Dollar Tree.
You in the Dollar Tree? I told you we need some stock in that jank, man.
Hey, subliminal messaging. You need to go ahead and sponsor us. Anyway, that's not the point. So y'all know what to do?
Whisper?
No.
Yes.
No.
What? MIC? It's time to go. See you real soon. Now, all right. Y'all know what to do.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Who's the fairest
of them all? I see me. I stand tall. The queen of never.
Talking dreams, now schemes grow strong. Plant seeds, hustle hard, no facade. We cream of the crop, take heed. Fight the odds, build squad, shine bright, break free. In the ring, hear the ding, it's our time.